All right, just bought a brand new Rolls Royce. Let's see, am I playing peekaboo with the emblem? Yeah. Nope. There's the emblem. Don't get too close. Spirit of ecstasy. You like my new Rolls? Way too rich to drive a Rolls. Made a milli off the stove. Okay, put it in her nose. Okay, life goals. Yeah. Okay, so some spirited early morning Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Phnom Penh thoughts. Janam kamai, janam sabay, sabay te, akun chiran, akun bong, picking up pretty good kamai. So, anyways, question. ... Am I the most sober person that I know? Am I the most sober human being on the planet? Even Michael Saylor, the GOAT, I think he drinks like Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke or Coke Zero. I mean, I think I agree 100% everything that Michael Saylor does and talks about. Only thing I would say, I mean, he's a smart dude too, is stop drinking that Splenda stuff, right? It's probably not good for your health. And also, I think Michael is, great. I mean, hey, Mike, don't worry. I'll be your personal coach. Just shoot me an email, or Feng Lei, if you're listening to this. Email me, eric@erickim.com. Get Michael Saylor on the EK hype lifting plan. Anyways, I mean, Michael has all the money. I mean, come on, Mike. Use loaded. Just get a nice personal gym, start lifting at home, have fun, okay? And actually, a pro tip that I have for all Bitcoiners, podcasters, interviewers, shout out to MSTR True North, Punter Jeff. People should do interviews while standing. Okay, this is the big thing. When you're sedentary, your brain shuts off, right? And like you could even see it, right? Like when Michael is doing an interview or a presentation on stage and standing, there's so much more energy, so much more vibrancy. And actually, I was thinking about it. Is there ever a keynote speaker that ever does their presentation while sitting? No, they're all standing, right? And also, if you go to a concert, a musical concert, besides listening to classical music, is a performer ever sitting? No, they're always standing, right? And I have a thought too, is that like, I think even Joe Rogan's always sitting, right? Everyone they should do like more like standing interviews or walking interviews. Like, I have this vision. This is a funny vision. So imagine if you like rent out a mall or somewhere quiet, assuming you want good audio, or like some very quiet forest. Just like go on a walk with said individual, walk in nature, and then interview them, put on a lavalier mic or something. And as a consequence, the Singaporean embassy. So as a consequence, the thoughts you get are much more pure, clean, fresh. The environment does matter. Like, imagine if you interview someone inside a McDonald's, it's probably going to be different than if you interview somebody in a private jet versus you interview somebody inside some sort of like mental asylum versus like the most sublime Kyoto bamboo forest of all time. Good morning. So yeah, I think that's a simple thought. But anyways, what were we talking about? Anyways, I always kind of forget what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm the most sober. Okay, put it out there, right? Like to anyone who thinks I'm crazy, I sleep 8 to 12 hours a night. I don't drink alcohol, spirits, beer, not out of some sort of ethical thing. It's just like, I don't like the way it makes me feel. I can't sleep at night and I get Asian flush pretty easily. I don't take any drugs, not even the good ones, right? Like, I haven't even taken a painkiller in almost a decade. Like, not that once you get there bad. I haven't taken antibiotics in like a decade either. The only medicine I ever take is typically like Tums or Pepto when I get stomach aches, can't sleep. just chew on raw ginger. That seems to help a lot. I'm not on social media. The Instagram account is not me. It's just a loyal fan. I don't watch shows. I'm like, also very interesting. Am I the only millennial that I know that doesn't even own a pair of AirPods? Question mark. Right? People are like, what's your Instagram? I don't have Instagram. They're like, what? Actually, the funny joke is, first of all, you should delete your Instagram. It's the ultimate flex. Okay, people are like, how many followers you have? I'm like, I don't even have an Instagram. They're like, what? Okay, so the best thing is next time you talk to a millennial or somebody in the States, they'd be like, what's your Instagram, bro? Or what's your Insta? What's your IG? You'd be like, just like deadpan, look at them in the face and go ... What's Instagram? That's like the funniest thing. Oh, good morning in Phnom Penh. Super Sabat. And this is like the best place of all time. And I want to live here forever. Super clean, super fresh. Okay? Anyways. And actually one of the best things about being in Asia is actually it's ironically way cleaner. Make sure I don't die. Cool. Just make eye contact with people. Actually, the funny thing, okay, what I actually really love about being in Phnom Penh, people do not honk. Like, there is not a honking. Like, people will actually stop and slow down. Whereas in Vietnam, the cars don't stop, they just go, right? And also in terms of the traffic here, it's like, I would say that Phnom Penh has like 5% the traffic of like Vietnam or even the States. It's pretty awesome. And actually another random thing in praise of Cambodia, obviously the tragedy of the Khmer Rouge, the median, not the average, the median age, which is actually a more socially significant marker. Shout out to studying sociology, right? Statistics is good. The median age of Cambodia is 25. So everybody you meet, everyone is super young. It's awesome. Like you go to a restaurant, right? All the kitchen people, they're like 21 years old. All the staff are like a bunch of 18-year-old kids. Kind of same in Vietnam. But in America, it's like, we're so old. Like, what is the median age of somebody in America? Like 45? Like you go to a restaurant, you go to a nice restaurant in America or a cafe, why is it like some sort of university educated woman or lady who's like 38 years old, or you go on a Delta flight, why is it like some sort of like, 61-year-old lady who's been doing her job for like 50 years? So investing in a place that's much more young is a good idea, right? And look at this, people walking early in the morning. It's everyone's happy. Okay. And also like a nice breeze. Anyways, so yeah, like no drugs, no social media. If actually, in fact, social media might be the worst drug, like worse than crack cocaine, because at least crack cocaine is a stimulant, whereas social media is a depressant. Like, do you know anybody who opens up social media on their phone and after scrolling through it for like an hour feels better? No, it's like it puts you in a bad mood, right? And I think at least one thing I learned about myself, maybe this is where self-awareness is good, is that I'm actually very, very sensitive to bad energy and vibes. And the internet is full of toxic culture. It's like, the one of the hopes of Bitcoin, Satoshis, even AI is that it's less toxic. So let me give you an example. So if you're a publisher, it's in your best interest to maximize eyeballs, views, impressions, tweets, retweets, and therefore everything that you share will be maximally juicy, enticing, and kind of like clickbaity. And no one ever talks about this, but Google, shame on you. Google is the ultimate clickbait machine. And it's funny because everyone always says it's TMZ or whatever. No, it's actually the Google AdSense, which 95% of their profits come from Google AdSense. It's baked into the system. The more sensational it is, the more profitable it is. So essentially, don't be a dummy. The truth is, the more ad clicks, the better for them, right? And so, for example, if you're a news agency, what gets more clicks, right? Donald Trump says something like anti-Semitic or anti-something, right? Or, lovely 12-year-old boy, helps grandma cross the street, people cheer, right? No one cares about that, right? And so actually one of the things I learned through sociology, and also just like critical, common sense, marketing know-how, is anything that has negative emotions gets better coverage than things with positive coverage. And so the reason why I think this is the case is that I think it's kind of baked into human DNA, is that we are more risk averse than positivity seeking. And it becomes tragic then because we end up becoming addicted to a feed of negativity, toxicity, doom, whatever, right? And think about it this way: if you think about anything on the news, it's all doom and gloom, World War III, blah blah. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's anybody who's another thing too. I'm sober. I don't read the news. I quit the news 15 years ago, right? Yeah. Once again, and then I'll shout out to Apple, the Safari team, y'all's the goats. It was actually funny because I did a talk at Google. I think it's still up, right? Just search Eric Kim creativity talk at Google. And, I'm doing a presentation and I'm trying to show something on my iPad or laptop or something, right? And I'm pulling up a browser and I open up Safari, and then all the Google engineers in the crowd were like, oh. It's like, why did you use Safari, not Chrome? And I'm like, no, Chrome is just adware. It's like, okay, this is starting to get good. It's like a Bonzi Buddy. You remember Bonzi Buddy? Daisy. It's like Bonzi Buddy. Okay, when I was a kid, right? And this is the early days of Windows 95, AOL, the internet. It was always install more stuff is more better, right? And Bonzi Buddy was this purple dancing, paperclip thing that's on your desktop. And it was singing songs, do cute stuff, right? But secretly, it's harvesting all your data, adding, infinite bars to your Windows Explorer. And actually 99% of early IT, also I worked IT as an undergrad at UCLA, undergraduate student affairs. Shout out to John Talbert, gave me my first job, grateful. So it was getting rid of adware, getting rid of viruses. And actually probably the best thing about Mac or iPad, iPhone, whatever, right, iOS, is the lack of viruses you get. Actually, it's quite impressive. Yeah, so if I was born in 1988, if you didn't grow up to Windows 95 or AOL or dial-up internet, 56K, 38K modem. Actually, very, very interesting. My first computer, I'll never forget, Acer Aspire Pentium 1 processor. Do you remember the dudes with the tinfoil outfits that would just dance? MMX technology. Actually, I even had a computer that had a turbo button. It's hilarious. I don't think anyone knew what it did. It didn't do anything. But, and also I was into overclocking my CPU and building it. Shout out to Eric Moon, who taught me. Yeah, so it was actually getting rid of viruses. So via negative at an early stage, right? But anyways, let's see, what else do I not do? Yeah, I sleep at what time? I mean, now that Seneca's in school, we all, I mean, technically we say his bedtime is 6:30, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but more or less we're all in bed by 7 p.m. And days like this, I'll wake up at 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., not And I haven't used an alarm clock in like 15 years. That was a tip that I got from Nassim Taleb. So I just kind of wake up naturally. I try to force myself to sleep early again, but with no avail. But I feel good, yeah, and I go to the gym every day. I lift weights. And also, am I the only one I know who doesn't listen to music while lifting weights? And actually, this is a big pro tip too, is that the best way to separate people or rank them is by, when you're at the gym, just look. Separate the people into two categories. First, people who work out without headphones on or earplugs on, and people who do. Like, so 99.9% of people work out with headphones on, right? Typically, the only people who don't work out with headphones on is like older dudes, like in their 60s. I don't know, maybe 70s. But everyone else is like, yeah, like listening to something. I mean, it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just an observation. So the metaphor is like the Matrix. Anybody who has stuff in the earplugs or the earbuds, it's like you just plugged into the Matrix. Oh, another pro tip too. The only way you could ever trust a fitness influencer or somebody if they're not on Instagram. I think YouTube is a better destination than Instagram because, I mean, obviously YouTube has problems too, but YouTube is still like the only place to really publicly upload indexable, findable video. I mean, I guess podcasts are good too, but the issue with Instagram is, at least with men, right? And also probably women. Sooner or later, if your metrics are boosted by how jacked or strong or, I don't know, how big your face-lip ratio is, you're sooner or later going to get plastic surgery. You're sooner or later going to get, you know, steroids or weird stuff. If you're actually not sure whether somebody's on the juice or not, right? You'd be like, a tip is you could be like, to go to somebody, be like, bro, you look so jacked. What cycle you on or what gear you on? And then like, you know, you just kind of see their eyes roll, right? Or actually, the best way to know if someone is on steroids or not, I mean, obviously it's impossible to know, right? Is if they joke about taking steroids, they're not taking steroids. If you joke about steroids and they kind of go silent or roll their eyes, yeah, they're probably on something. Another pro tip is typically shorty guys are more on the juice than tall dudes because we tall guys, we have nothing to prove. Whereas like anybody who's a shorty guy, like you can't get physically taller, but you get physically bigger. So once again, typical dudes are on the juice. And another funny heuristic, never trust nobody who's bald and jacked and has a beard. Typical CrossFitter guy, because they're all on the juice probably, because I mean, I don't know the science behind it, but typically bald dudes like taking steroids or, you know, quote unquote natural steroids, like Joe Rogan. I think he takes it, but at least the reason I trust Joe Rogan, he doesn't hide it. He publicly announces it. And also, even the reason why Kim Kardashian might be the most ethical person is, you know, she's admitted that she's done a little Botox here and there, but like nothing else. I think they even x-rayed her butt. I asked Grok or ChatGPT. And what's interesting with Kim, I mean, what, she has 4 kids? Like that's very impressive. That's goals, right? So, you know, honestly, like, it's like, yo, don't hate Kim because you wish that you was Kim, or man, don't hate on Kim because you wish that you could have a baby with her, right? Like, think about what 50 Cent said, right? Have a baby by me, have a baby by me. Maybe I should start listening to more 50 Cent. Okay. And actually, the reason why 50 Cent might be the most honest rapper, well, he got shot in the gut, what, like 7 times? I mean, like, come on, Doug, that teaches you something. And also the reason why I don't think anybody, I mean, okay, man, all right, bro, the reason why you should never, ever, I think, criticize Donald Trump, he went through 2 assassination attempts. Two, one of the bullets hit his ear. Like, he almost died. Like, okay, imagine if your ethical, sound brain, right? Let's say you're president and you're doing what you think is best, right? And then like a sniper takes off your ear, right? Like, certainly that's gonna make you scared, right? Right? And then imagine beyond that, you go to another talk, you're not wearing like a bulletproof vest or a helmet when you're out talking in public, and then you're golfing, and then another sniper tries to kill you, and then you don't die, right? And then you still go on like that, or like, and also after the shooting attempt, and then he stood up, right? Like, I think even Mark Andreessen said on the Rogan podcast, that was like quite possibly one of the most courageous displays of conviction of all time, right? So yeah, and then people, Donald Trump lying. I'm like, obviously he lies, but so did Obama, so did Biden, so did Kamala Harris, so did you remember Sarah Palin, right? The big Sean quote, "White girls politicking, that's a Sarah Palin," right? Yeah, what happened to Sarah Palin? You gotta Google this, right? So obviously all politicians are liars. Even the good politicians are bad politicians, right? Right? I mean, I think what's interesting with Trump is that he's the most trustworthy liar because he does not censor himself. And also, when you have a businessman become a politician, it makes people feel very uncomfortable because, I mean, the dude's obviously never had a job in his life, as Nassim Taleb said, right? So as a consequence, you're just gonna get unfiltered verbiage, and that makes people not so happy, right? And actually, to anyone who thinks that he's like the devil, no, he's not. Just read the was it The Art of the Deal? I don't even think that Donald Trump drinks alcohol. And I actually, yeah, like he's actually pretty. Look at his parents, like both bedrock. Like, yeah, I think Donald Trump is pretty sober, right? Yeah, and I mean, it looks like, I don't know if he has a fake spray tan, but he looks like, for a dude in his 70s, I mean, he looks pretty healthy. I mean, better than Joe Biden, right? But yeah, maybe Trump could get more into weightlifting or whatever. But actually, another thing that's interesting is that, is Donald Trump like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3"? Like, he's actually really tall. So once again, he's not a shorty guy, so he's not gonna feel any sort of small man syndrome like a Kanye or something, right? Yeah. So, anyways, and for me, yeah, like I'm like 5'11", 5% body fat at around 165 pounds. And also note, I haven't weighed myself in like 15 years because anytime I weighed myself, it would put me in a bad mood. So the only time I ever get my weightage is I accidentally see it when I go to see the doctor. And I can lift over 1,000 pounds. Just search it. Yeah, like, yeah, got nothing to prove. I've already become famous. I already fired in 2017, like 7 years ago. I've already been retired for like 7 years. So everything I say is just purely autotelic, which means I do it for the sake of it. Yeah, like, you know, I don't even rub it out no more. Like, you know, because the big thought is, if you think of yourself like a prize fighter or a boxer, everyone knows the rule is you're not supposed to sleep before the big fight, which makes sense because that's the source of all your power and energy. People think it's a superstition, but I think it's actually real. So for example, let's say you're about to deadlift 1,000 pounds, let's say, right? Are you about to rub one out real quick before you try it? No, because you're gonna get all these sleepiness hormones, which makes you want to take a nap, right? Go to sleep forever. Even in the Iliad, when you know, Hera seduces Zeus, and then, you know, they go in bed. You know, Zeus falls into a deep slumber, and then Hera, you know, she does her trickery while he's asleep, and obviously Zeus gets very angry. But anyways, so yeah, I think becoming a more sober thinker is obviously a good idea. I think Elon Musk is great. Problems is it looks like his physiology is very poor. While he's doing 10 p.m. Doge meetings, he should just sleep. And I think he does, like, I read the Isaacson biography. I think he does like Red Bull and vodka until like 2 a.m. Like, these things are certainly not good. I mean, you know, to each his own, but yeah, I think if Elon took a little bit better of his health, get more sunshine, work out more, topless in the sun, whatevs. I mean, if anything, Elon should just be like 100% carnivore. Like, if I was the head of Elon Musk's personal diet, bone marrow, beef liver, beef ribs, like, yeah, no sugar, no starches, maybe just black coffee in the morning, and that's it. And also the reason why I think we should not trust the physiology of Elon is he's too much of a nerd. Like, I don't think he understands basic biology, right? And so, you tend to be a little bit myopic. And actually the funny thing too is, actually the most intelligent people out there, you know, like PhDs in biology, whatever, they take things too literally, like a calorie is a calorie kind of thing, when we obviously know it's not. Like, eating 1,000 calories of delicious ribeye is different than eating 1,000 calories of Twinkies, right? This is pretty obvious. So yeah, and I think the future will belong to independent thinkers who think for themselves, by themselves. The phrase people use now is prompt engineer, which I think is actually kind of an interesting idea, because the future is just a bunch of prompts. And even for me as a blogger, right? I think I'm the most prolific blogger of all time. The prompt itself is more interesting than the answer. And I'm starting to get at this point where, and also one of the thoughts about AI, which is interesting, is that there's a certain point where it does a really good job, but you simply just want to, you stop using AI because you just want to write the thing yourself, right? So, you know, I've experimented and I had Chat and Grok write a bunch of essays for me, and most of them are pretty funny. There's a certain point where I just want to close it and I just want to open up IA Writer and just write the thing myself, because once again, the best way to do things and approach things in life is that you do it for the sake of it, because you love it, without a financial incentive. And I think that's what the real goal is.